Mhm.
Hello and good evening, good afternoon, wherever on the planet you are. Hi, I'm Greg Clegg, and we three guys are three black Pratt grads of Dos Tres. And we are having our photo talks. It's a fairly regular thing now. And I'm Greg Clegg, as I said. That's my bud Ken Nelson and Mr. Mark Skinner. With You both have glasses, so okay. Mr. in the white shirt, okay. In the white corner. Okay, so you ready to photograph? This week's episode is my episode, and I want to know where's your passion. What are you passionate about? And um, it can come into anything. It could be in composition. It could be in subject matter. It could be in pizza. It could be any number of things. And I just had a wild hair, and I was wondering, where's your passion? For photography. What is it that you like to do, or have you found your passion? Yet. So, I mean, there's so much that you can do with photography, and I'll say it. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Find what you like. Keep shooting, keep exploring. All the devices and tricks and things that photography can do. It's a gift that keeps on giving. As long as you push it, it can be an amazing thing. If you're shooting for 30 years, you should probably be really good at whatever it is you're shooting. Anyway, so I'm going to start it off, seeing as how it's my topic, and I want, and because we do
That would
know.
be helpful.
And my first picture I wanted to talk about is I have like a bit of a silly twist in me, and I like relationships in imagery, and sometimes come across stuff that doesn't necessarily belong together, but when you see them together, it's like, wait, did I just see that? So I saw, well, okay, I adjusted the vodka bottle just a little, but this little brown squirrel or whatever the hell that is, or chipmunk, or what are they call the one that everybody's trying to kill because it's chewing up their lawn and eating their
Gophers?
vegetables? Huh?
Gopher?
It could be a gopher, yeah. But I kind of, it was like early in the morning. I'm walking, I see this piece of trash, and I was going to pick it up and throw it away. But as I got closer, this little fella comes out of the ground. I'm like, hmm, boy, did he have a really long night or a good night? I don't know. He's knocked out that vodka. Now he's kind of got his bowl pants on. So I just set that up, pushed it in there a little bit, and took the shot. I thought it amused me to no end. So I don't know if it's going to amuse anybody else, but my passion is kind of finding silly stuff and serious stuff. Because you can capture the funny side of life, or you can capture the photojournalistic slice of life, or the human condition and how humans and stuff suffer. But or you can find a gopher with a bottle of vodka. So next picture, please. Let me get out of this one. And I come across some odd things, and I saw this shirt and I loved it because it's kind of I won't say it's me in a nutshell, but it's a horrible idea. Uh, what time? Let's go do it. I said just get out there and have some fun. Learn your camera, keep shooting, and just enjoy it while it is. Okay, I'm gonna kick it on over to my good bud Mr. Nelson, who's been doing some incredible stuff. His postings on Instagram. Follow that man. I'm on there, Greg too. Greg Claycorn on Instagram. But Kenneth Nelson Photography. If you haven't seen it, go see it. He's doing wonderful things. Kick it over to you, Mr. Nelson. What do you got for us? Where is
Thank you
your
so much.
passion?
The links to our uh, Instagram accounts are below the credits and the video on YouTube. So
Okay,
they're there and you can click it.
good. Where's
So
your passion?
where's my passion? My passion is somewhere between, oh, I don't know. Okay, it didn't work. So I'll just show you an image and this will be an indication of my passion. Okay, here's my passion right here.
Wow.
All right. Now, am I thinking in an abstract way? Where's my passion? Um, my passion is, for the most part, the human condition. So I like to explore the crap that people do. Okay.
Okay.
And as humans, we do the most weird crap of any human, of any species on the planet.
That'd be the anthropological term.
And this is yeah, and this is one of them. I like to, when I see things on in public, I always begin to wonder how that came to be. And this came to be because a human or a few humans decided to do something to create this thing. And so when I see something like this, I don't see it. I see who created it, and I begin to think about why they did it. Did it mean anything or did it mean nothing? And I'm under the impression when I see these, I don't think they mean anything, but yet they created something in the space of humanity. And so,
is
this
that a weed or is that something growing by itself, or they created that?
It's a vegetation. I don't know if it's a weed. I think it's a weed, but I don't know if it's actually a leafy green or not. But my assumption it's a leafy green, right? And
Okay.
but it's sticking out of a cup with other stuff in it. And so I'm thinking, you can look at it as an abstract. You can look at it as a sculpture, but ultimately, I begin to wonder who put it there and why. Is it laziness or what have you? So this is where my passion is. My passion is trying to figure out the crap that people do. Okay, and I'm saying it because it's nonsense to some degree, but yet it exists in space and time.
I think they're trying to bring life to an area that looks like it's decaying.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a party red cup. That's an internationally known cup for partying. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just give a little bit more detail. This is my neighborhood, and it's a couple of blocks away, and I'm walking to my diner to get a breakfast and stuff, but yet I see this. And what's intriguing is not necessarily, well, it's everything, but if you had seen my throwaway society photographs of the cups, this is akin to that. This is akin to that, but it's slightly different. But it's akin to that. So that human condition thing that represents the throwaway society and this are similar.
Yeah, well, this is a rekindled society. Someone is a kindred spirit to you.
Yeah,
and they're trying to find a way to put life into the throwaway society.
Yeah.
It looks like a mojito that's trying to come back to life.
Okay.
Like Godzilla's, the mojito that ate in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Well, what's the morning drink after a hangover?
What is it? A Bloody Mary?
Bloody Mary. Yeah. Okay. But anyway.
I like mojitos. You can drink a Bloody Mary. I like mojitos.
But anyway, that's where my passion is. My passion is trying to understand the human condition, continue to do so in all its varied forms, and this is just one of them. But I think, done. Yeah, I think there's an interesting thing about this photograph that I think you'd have to be really keen to see it.
The black and white on the left and the color on the right, I love it.
No. What I'll do is I'll just, for the sake of argument, I'll zoom in on a piece of it.
Ah,
spider web
thread. Yes.
The spider thread.
It's been there. It's in such a long time that spiders are crawling up this cup. So
to get a drink.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't take long for a spider. It could be like 10 hours.
Yeah. Okay. That's a long time for something to be there. This is in the morning, but anyway. Okay, guys, I'm done with mine. But that's my passion.
Right. Well, thank you for showing us your passion, Ken. Nice shot. I hope this becomes a new series for you. All right, next up, we got Mr. Nelson. Just finished with Mr. Nelson. Mr. Skinner, where's your passion, brother?
It's...
Okay, he's being quiet.
There you go. My passion is represented metaphorically in this photograph. My passion is behind that wall, and this is going to be, we keep talking about all sorts of fun things that we do, but I want this to be even ever so slightly educational. Okay, that wall represents the duality of racism and age that can befallen a person in any given career. That razor wire represents the self-imposed obstacles that one can put in their own career. Now, I mean, self-imposed obstacles, people will get mad if I say this, but I can say significant others, family, student loans, consumer debt, all the things that other interests, addictions, all the things that keep you away from your photographic passion. On the other side of this wall, for me, represents the, glorious commercial career that I did not get. Now, I say this for one reason only, and that is when I started, I was in school, and because my then girlfriend, who turned into my wife of 31 years thus far, was a journalist, I was able to get work through that person. And I found myself doing a lot of what they call black work, right? They called it black work back then. And what's really important to understand is I am extraordinarily happy for all the young black photographers now who are doing black work, because black work is extraordinarily important. There's much more of it now than there ever has been. But I want them to understand it's very important that as they get that black work, they do not get relegated to only doing black work, because that can happen. And if that's all you want to do, that's fine. But what you'll find is your counterparts will be doing black work as well as all the rest. And you may find yourself at a loss because of it. So that small little hole that you see at the bottom of this wall represents the opportunity that you have to go through racism, go right underneath it. You can actually do some things, age, gender, sexual orientation, all those built-in obstacles that we tend to have. You can go through it because you can go to photo school. You can also learn a tremendous amount on video, which we didn't have. And you have so many workshops that aren't formal academic areas. But always keep in mind to always increase your skills, and that sunlight with that shadow, as much as it's important to understand what light does, how the sun works, what ambient light does in a room at nighttime. It's also very important for you to understand how to create light for yourself and to how to augment light so that it looks natural when you need to get your exposure. So that sunlight represents all the possibilities. And I just think that that's, for me, this photograph is a metaphor for my passion. My passion is basically, great photography, but there are some impediments that can be surmounted. But I think it's really important for the young photographers now to understand that even though things are good because you're doing work and photographing your people, keep in mind you can find yourself being trapped there for a long time if you do not find a way to expand that. Be very careful. And that is it.
What does the sign say?
I think it says what? No graffiti.
Do not
and it says, don't trespass and do not litter.
Oh, okay. So is there a door maybe to the left of that?
I think a door would be just as appropriate, but I chose to select the system. Oh, by the way, the answer to your question is no. In this particular wall, there was no door for many, many, many feet, maybe 100 feet in either direction.
Okay.
And I say this is not light because, PBS they're running currently a series about icons, rock and roll through the lens. And they profiles a lot of these really, not so famous photographers, but they're very successful rock and roll photographers, hip hop photographers, and a lot, they weren't black. Okay. Now I didn't see every episode, so there may be one that I missed, but there are working professionals who were photographing hip hop. Right. But a lot of them, they work hip hop. And I know when I was younger and hip hop was new, there were a lot of white photographers who were working for hip hop companies, and a lot of black photographers that I knew at the time weren't able to get in because they already had the people they needed. So just keep in mind, it's great that you're getting to work, but try not to be relegated to only that.
if it works for you. I mean, because all right. Well, first, not in defense of Pratt, but they did have a film department, and I took some classes with some really good instructors, and I learned a lot about uh, light as it moved, and using it in a moving frame in cinematography and gels and bounced light, and I learned like a whole another
Yeah,
level of photography.
of light
Taking
control.
a
Yeah,
film class, shooting video, yeah, for sure.
yeah, I agree. I
And
agree. You know,
you
what's
know,
interesting. I mean, what's interesting about that is that there are in our kind of general age group, right? I would have thought that by now there would be at least one black photographer, not necessarily me, one who was as famous as Gordon Parks, right, with as many opportunities as there had been since Gordon Parks' heyday in the late 70s, right?
yeah,
It's been about
but
50 years.
hold on. I'd
But
like to
wait, I
say
just want
in,
to I just want
in
to say
the
this one thing.
'70s.
I
Did
want to say
did
this
I
one
did
thing.
we know who Gordon
But
Parks was?
I just want to say this
Go
one
ahead.
thing. Yeah, we did. We did know Gordon Parks. Now, my point is because he had been famous since the 40s and 50s. Now, my thing is that since then, photography, you've had famous movie makers. You've had, Black Panther, the highest grossing film with a black cast. You've had a black president. We have a black vice president. We have a black person who is the chief astrophysicist at the Hayden Planetarium. I would have never believed when we started that all of these industries would have had someone who was a household name before any black photographer seconded what Gordon Parks had done. And so what I'm trying to say is that you know, the big difference is that the people I mentioned, for the most part, with the exception of the filmmakers, they were very much steeped in academia for a long time. And so the black photographers, just still photographers, not the video people, the still photographers, if you want to just be a still photographer and respected just for that, just be careful that the work that you're getting doesn't pigeonhole you. That's all.
I'll take the money and be pigeonholed any day.
Right. And that works for a while. And then for a while, if you're successful enough, you want to show you the all of your creativity, and you don't want to be relegated to only being a person who photographs whenever a black person needs to be photographed.
Yeah, but what's wrong with photographing black topics and black people and black life?
I
Why is
I
that a cubbyhole?
I
Is
think I
it is
think you're
are
ignoring
you
what I'm saying.
gauging sex? Are you gauging success on being able to shoot white?
No, what I'm saying is there are
Magazines and
only so
publications.
many. What I'm saying is, well, I mean, to a certain extent, what I'm saying is a certain amount of success is based on your ability to photograph more than one type of individual, whether it's just white people or just black people. If you're a minority, particularly if you're black, you should be able to photograph. You should have the opportunity to photograph more than just one type of person. Now, it's great because now there are so many opportunities to photograph black people, more than ever before, because there's hip hop and there's R&B and then there's black people doing all sorts of other things, and they're academics and we've got scientists and we've got all these other things. But I'm just talking from personal experience and I know these types of things repeat. You can find yourself being just called for that. Now, that hasn't happened to me in some time, but I'm just saying for the people who are really doing well now, photographing black subject matter for mainstream organizations, just try to, if you're there already, try to get some of that other work so that you're not pigeonholed to being the black photographer. And that's really it.
Okay. All right. We're coming to a time in which we just should start to wind down our conversation for this episode.
Okay. Well, Spielberg, when he was asked to do um, for Colored Girls, he's like, well, I don't know anything about the black experience. He still did it. I mean, well, okay. Well, anyway, there it is. There's your passion. Mark has an interesting perspective on life, and commercial photography. If you've heard about this and that, you would maybe get a better idea of what he's saying. Just expand, be as good at as many things as possible, because there's all kinds of photography. Learning your gear, learn your equipment, understand how light works, how your camera works, what you can do with mixed lighting, straight lighting, day lighting, night lighting, star lighting, you name it. Photography, like writing. So, Ken, thank you for your interesting thing. Mark, thank you for your interesting perspective with the barbed wire. And sometimes the most difficult obstacles we face are the ones we put out in our own way. So, take that to heart. Thank you, Mark.
Right.
Ken,
And like I said, those obstacles are welcomed in many cases. They're things we felt we needed, the things people we wanted to be involved with. But unless you are concentrating 100% or you have a team of people, right, who are concentrating on creating a studio or a gallery for you or with you, then it's more difficult if you have other interests that you must pay attention to. That's it.
But also, I think an important goalpost, goal line, end zone, whatever, is to define your own what success means to you. Because if you're chasing what success means to somebody else, the house in the suburbs, the picket fence, if you're making that your goal, you could disappoint yourself. You have
That's
to
true.
decide
That in and of
what
itself should
your
not be the goal.
what your idea of success is.
Right.
I think that's important. But that's just me. I'd be happy in a camper, running around the country taking pictures, and fishing fishing in the Columbus River for dinner.
And that's perfectly legit too.
Yeah.
I just wanted to speak to that real dynamic because it's something that we don't talk
Oh,
about.
absolutely. I appreciate your perspective on that. That was very, 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 very good. And thanks for your perspective, kid. I like that party cup with the growth coming out of it.
Okay.
Visually, it was a lot of fun. I like that half of it was
Very much
and 3D, but then there's life coming out of this party cup. Very nice. Even the gray post they were standing on had color in it, so I like that whole idea. So, me, I'm kind of a little bit. If you haven't figured that out by now, I'm hoping soon we will do a reintroduction. We will reintroduce ourselves. We are three Black Crack Grads. We do this photo talk regularly. Please tune in. Please subscribe. Check out our websites respectively and ring that bell so you know when we post another thing. Thanks, Ken, for your technical direction. Thanks for your opinion, Mr. Skinner. You guys are great. I'm glad we went to Pratt together, and that's who we are. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.